Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs class. I hope you all are doing well. So, 18th March. March is going to be covered. I hope the audio and video is good. So let's begin with the first segment. Okay, just a second. All right. So ESI Finance business segment में first news is public sector banks have made recovery of written off loans worth over 2,27,000 crore rupees. So recently this much was written off, recovery has been made, right? So this much amount has been recovered by the public sector banks, and the recovery of these written off loans has gone up by the level of over 35,000 crores. That means the NPA situation is improving. On NPA performance, we are performing good. Next one is Ministry of Education and National Book Trust, NBT. So remember here, two entities are involved, Ministry of Education and the National Book Trust of India. They have launched third edition of the Prime Minister Young Authors Mentorship Scheme, also known as the Yuva 3.0, because third edition is there. So Yuva is the acronym for this. Remember the extended form, which is Young Authors Mentorship Scheme, YUVA. What is this? This is basically to nurture young writers under 30 years of age, provide them incentive, provide them opportunities to write more, to boost up the creativity, right? And the themes, two themes are there basically. You have to remember, two themes are there. First is contribution of Indian diaspora in nation building, Indian knowledge system, and makers of modern India 1950 say 2025. These are the two themes related to PM Yuva 3.0. Remember that. All right. What about the mentorship and support? So the selected tutors, the authors, they will receive a mentorship program spanning 6 months. 6 months ka mentorship hoga. Financial assistance would be 50,000 per month. 50,000 per month for 6 months. You see, this is quite huge assistance, isn't it? 50,000 per month. So that is quite huge. 50,000 per month for 6 months, and their works will be published and promoted by National Book Trust in multiple languages. Okay, and under this mentorship, national camps will be held for PM Yuva 3.0. Remember this thing, it is important. Ministry of Education and NBT. Next one is Vigyan Dhara. What is Vigyan Dhara? Government of India has significantly increased allocation for the Vigyan Dhara scheme. So that's why it is in news. What is Vigyan Dhara? Vigyan Dhara scheme basically aims to enhance countries' scientific research and innovation, also technological ecosystem ko develop karna. So it is promoting R&D in science and tech, right? Vigyan Dhara, promoting innovation, R&D ecosystem in science tech. This is Vigyan Dhara, and remember recently government has increased the allocation for Vigyan Dhara to rupees 1425 crores or 1425 crores in 2025-26. So this is the amount you need to remember, 1425 crores. So since Vigyan Dhara scheme is in news, you can remember that it came into effect from 16th January 2025 itself. So it is a very recent one. That's why you see becomes more important, right? So please remember the increased allocation and the implementation date because it is the latest one. So 16th January 2025. The next news is government has recently recommended 12% safeguard duty. 12% safeguard duty on certain steel products for 200 days to protect the domestic industry from serious injury caused by a recent spike in imports. What is safeguard duty? You see, there are lots of duties which we import when we impose when we import something, right? Like you have countervailing duty, we have anti-dumping duty, we have safeguard duty. So safeguard duty is basically to safeguard the domestic market. Why? Because if you allow foreign goods to flood your market, then your own domestic producers will not be incentivized to produce more, right? And in steel, we want to be a very important part of the global supply chain. So that's why when government increases or imposes the safeguard duty, the imported item becomes more costlier. So then of course you will be substituting to domestically produced goods. Also there will be incentive for producing domestically, because people will be demanding domestically produced steel here. So that's the reason industries will be demanding domestically produced steel. So remember this thing, it is the purpose of safeguard duty. 12% safeguard duty has been recommended by the government. And what you can also remember from here is India's imports of the finished steel from China, South Korea, Japan have been high. कहाँ से हमने final steel import किया है? Major source of our final steel or finished steel imports are, remember, China, South Korea and Japan. Here I would also like to remind you, in recent current affairs only, we have discussed the definition first of all given by Government of India or for the green steel, right? So they have categorically defined what exactly green steel stands for. So please remember, we have covered this thing in CA, that can be important. Green steel, the definition and the categories. So that's what the news says. Then next one is Zodia Custody, which is a leading institution, first digital asset platform. So WazirX basically has partnered with Zodia Custody as custodian ahead of creditor voting. See, WazirX क्या है? WazirX आपको पता होगा क्रिप्टो करेंसी का वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट एक्सचेंजेस, ठीक है? सो बेसिकली इट इज वर्किंग इन क्रिप्टो करेंसी. इट इज वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट क्रिप्टो करेंसी एक्सचेंज WazirX. WazirX ने जोडिया कस्टडी के साथ पार्टनर किया है टू क्योंकि WazirX का रिसेंटली द केस वाज देयर वाज अ साइबर अटैक, उसकी वजह से बहुत सारा लॉस हुआ है. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस न्यूज इज देयर. द जोडिया कस्टडी विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग देम सिक्योरिटी फीचर्स. दिस इज द न्यूज. Then next, moving on to regulatory bodies news, RBI and the Bank of Mauritius have signed MOU to establish a framework promoting use of local currencies for cross-border transactions. So remember which countries are involved here. You have RBI and Bank of Mauritius. Under this MOU, they will be facilitating the use of Indian rupee and Mauritian rupee in bilateral trade. जो भी दोनों countries का trade है, उसमें they will be promoting the use of domestic currencies. Then next one is Vedanta owned Hindustan Zinc, in which India's Mines Ministry is a minority shareholder, has been fined 5,42,800 rupees each by NSE and BSE. Why? For not having the requisite number of independent directors on board. So you see, they are required to have, as per the regulatory norms, they are required to have specific numbers of independent directors. That's why they were fined. So please remember this. Hindustan Zinc was fined by NSE and BSE. By each, it was fined for not having sufficient number of independent directors. Now moving on to the banking news. First says BriskPay. इन्वेस्टमेंट फर्म है BriskPay, you know, ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टमेंट फर्म है. सो द ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टमेंट फर्म BriskPay हैज रिसीव्ड RBI's अप्रूवल to operate as payment aggregator for cross border transactions. So basically cross border transactions के लिए payment aggregator की तरह it would be working. Now what does it means? It means, see, payment aggregator for cross border payment means that firm will be facilitating all the transactions, settlement of the payments for say exports and imports. जितने भी exports and imports से related transaction settlement होते हैं, it will be facilitating that. So this is the approval BriskPay has received from RBI, under which act, also remember this thing, under the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. under the Payment and Settlement Systems Act 2007. As I told you, it is an entity that facilitates electronic payments for import and exports of goods as well as services between the countries. Okay. The next one is Government of India is planning to expand the network of digital banking units. That's going to be significant. Digital banking units by nearly doubling their count to 200 by the end of financial year 2026. I would ask you to remember this figure as it is. It should be on your tongue because financial year 2026 तक का target है, latest target है. Also digital banking है, which is very core area of questions being asked. So 200 you need to remember from here. Right? So first of all, what is digital banking unit? You know that digital banking unit basically means you will be providing all the banking services, banking products, product line digitally. No need to have physical documentation and all, right? So digital banking units को expand करना है by 200 by 2026, and over 100 digital banking units they operate in rural and semi-urban areas. 100 से ज़्यादा तो अभी है ही, but then we want to expand it. The next one is Asian Development Bank recently has announced Frontier Seed Pacific Program. Who has announced this? Asian Development Bank, remember. Asian Development Bank has recently announced this Frontier Seed Pacific Program. Frontier Seed Pacific Program क्या है? Where they have identified 2 companies to receive funding and support. So basically startup ecosystem. ठीक है? Startup ecosystem को promote करना, funding provide करवाना is the basic aim. They aim to develop local capital markets and support businesses that are building local industries. Local industries में जो काम कर रहे हैं, so small industries में जो है उनको support करना. Also those industries who are working towards sustainable growth, उनको funding provide करवाना, supporting them. This is the initiative launched by Asian Development Bank. And this ADB Frontier Seed Program has signed almost, you see, $2 lakh cost recoverable technical assistance agreement with CPAC Limited. ये सब आपको ध्यान नहीं रखना है. What you need to remember is किसका initiative है. That much would be sufficient from this news. Then next and last one is Finance Minister recently has inaugurated 70 branches and 501 women customer service points of State Bank of India. This can be important, very, very important, or specifically for the SBI exams. So please remember the fact. Recently, Finance Minister has inaugurated 70 branches and 501 women customer service points of the State Bank of India as a part of the commitment towards extending banking services to rural areas, underserved areas, also targeting women particularly in financial inclusion. So that's all about the important banking and finance news coming from 18th March. Now it's time for the top 5 MCQs. Let's discuss them. So first question for you. Ministry of Education and which of the following have jointly launched the 3rd edition of Prime Minister's Young Authors Mentorship Scheme, also known as Yuva 3.0? Yes, what's the answer? Well done. So answer is National Book Trust, option C, right? National Book Trust. Next question. RBI and which of the following banks have signed an MOU to establish a framework promoting the use of local currencies for cross-border transactions? तो RBI ने अभी recently MOU किस बैंक के साथ sign किया है, किस central bank के साथ sign किया है? Well done. The correct option is Bank of Mauritius, option D, Bank of Mauritius. ठीक है, Bank of Mauritius. Next question. Global investment firm, which of the following global investment firm has recently received RBI's in principle authorization to operate as cross-border payment aggregator? Well done. So this is the correct answer, option C here, BriskPay. Remember, BriskPay will be operating now as cross-border payment aggregator. Next one, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has inaugurated 70 branches and how many women customer service points of State Bank of India recently? Yeah, so 70 branches and 501 women-centric. Very good, very good. 70 branches and 501 women customer service points. Option A would be the correct answer here. Now, Government of India is planning to expand the network of digital banking units. So they want to double their count to how much by financial year 26? Yeah, so digital banking units का target आपको याद रखना है by financial 26 year 2026 we are targeting to have at least 200, option E, at least 200 digital banking units. Very good. Now this is the learning exercise for today for all of you. Who among the following recently has announced Frontier Seed Pacific program and identified the first 2 companies to receive funding and support? So this is the homework question for today. You will be telling me the answers in the comment section. Now, last class में जो question दिया था, it was HDFC Bank will now be accepting deposits under Senior Citizen Savings Scheme. So I asked you regarding the current interest rate being offered. So yes, your answers are correct. All of you, Girish Pradhan, Mahesh, 8.2% is the correct answer here. Remember, option C. So Senior Citizen Savings Scheme में the present interest rate is 8.2%. And please remember, for all your examinations, for all the upcoming examinations, particularly RBI and other regulatory bodies exam, you need to remember these kind of facts. जितनी भी आपकी small saving schemes हैं, उनका एक अलग से paper पे short note बना लो, उनकी eligibility, present interest rate, lock-in period, who is eligible, minimum deposit, maximum withdrawal का, premature withdrawal का क्या provision है, right? Any tax benefits being offered. So these are important facts and definitely you get certain questions in the examinations. So that is going to be your 20% effort and 80% result, right? एक ये चीज आप जरूर कर लेंगे, 1 or 2 questions will be there. So that's it for today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you so much for staying tuned. See you in the next session. Have a good day.